Alright, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of my definitive version of Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, the complete playthrough. We are going to be going through this entire trilogy. A little bit different class than I normally like to play. I usually like to play soldiers and vanguards. But this time we're going to go as an infiltrator all the way through. Going to probably make some different romance choices as well. I haven't decided on my romance for this version. I'm pretty loyal to Liara, and I think that's partially by design by the game developers, by making Liara so appealing. Of course, the controversial choice seems to be in modern times is to make Ashley your romance partner, and when everybody now hates Ashley. Ashley used to be a popular character, but now everybody hates her because she has the audacity to speak the truth about the council races and about how xenophobic they are. I'm eating some breakfast here, so well, and my doggy has found me. She's kind of wondering what I'm doing because I'm actually sitting on her dog bed. That's okay. I can move next. I can move over. You can have your doggy bed. It's just soft. Okay. Okay, in the last episode, we started the game and went to Eden Prime. We discovered that Saren was there on Eden Prime and murdered Nihilus, the Turian Spectre who was assigned to help kind of show Shepard the ranks and help Shepard get promoted into the Spectres. Excuse me. And we discovered the Prothean beacon, and Saren had already messed with it, had already got some information out of it. By the time we got there, Ashley got a little too close to it, activated some security measure on it, and Shepard saved her, but in the process had a vision burned into his brain, and the beacon subsequently exploded into a million bajillion pieces. So now everyone's probably going to be very mad at Shepard. Alright, so here we go. Part 2. Let's go talk to Ashley.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
You know, Jenkins is a character that he gets a lot of love from the community. I think it's because he dies so early in the game. So there's obviously a history here between Shepard and Jenkins, I guess. He's like, he'll be missed, or soldiers die. You know, typically, I do go with the more empathetic, I go with the more Paragon route here with Shepard. But in this case, I do think that Shepard, at least in this playthrough, which I said in the previous video, most of the choices I make are Paragon. But there are some Renegade choices there, and I think this is one of them that I would pick here, as soldiers do die, and that's what they sign up for. They volunteer to give themselves to the greater good. And so I'm going to go with this option.
When your number comes up, it's over. His did.
I don't think it's as simple as that, sir.
Well, I didn't really like that response from Shepard. That was a little more cold than I expected.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
Okay, I had muted the mic there because I was trying to take a couple bites of breakfast while I'm playing this game. We already talked to Chakwas, I'm pretty sure, before the mission.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Well, I guess we can... Yeah, let's talk to her about these things. We didn't actually talk about this stuff.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Elcor was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
So, one of the things I really do like about this game is how this universe that we're in, it's not new. I mean, it's lived in. It's, I'm trying to think of the right term here. What is this in the back wall here? Interesting. Anyway, it's brand new, and I mean, I'm sorry, it's not brand new. It's something that we are dropped into, and it's a world that functions. It's a universe that is used. It's dirty. It's functional. And humans are not the heroes. I mean, we're newcomers onto a grand stage. So there are more things down here to explore. We're going to go ahead and go back up, though. There's no really sense of going to explore the couple of things when we'll get some crew members later. We'll explore down here later on. Okay, and we'll get a couple of these the stars aren't moving. Are we just sitting in space? Of course, I guess if you were in space, you probably wouldn't know that you were moving like that either.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
This is one of my favorite shots in the in Mass Effect 1. Is this scene here? Shepard's first visit to the Citadel. It gives me a lot of vibe of, you know, Kirk going to the Enterprise for the first time. For you Star Trek fans.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
Music is incredible in this game.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their
What's
top
the matter,
agent.
Christy?
They don't like him being accused of treason.
Come here. No, you're not eating my breakfast. You come over here and lay down, right next in your doggy bed. You're too little to have marinara sauce. Let's see. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason. Yeah, he's dangerous.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped.
Tell him, Shepard.
The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Absolutely, Ashley. Alright, let's go here. Let's check out this computer console. You know, before I do this, I want to address an issue with Ashley. So there's a comment that she makes here. This is interesting. Where's the Avina terminal? It's like it's a different, so there used to be, I think at one point, there used to be a keeper up here. Anyway. So there's a comment that Ashley makes at some point about, and it's usually during this scene here, but she doesn't make it right now, where she says, I have a hard time distinguishing the aliens from the animals. And most people really get upset at her for that saying. So, in the context of what... Okay, oh, here's the Keeper. Where's Caden? Oh, there he is. So, in the context of what Ashley was supposed to be saying, it was supposed to be in reference to her seeing a Keeper for the first time. And so, if you're someone who serves in the Alliance, and even though you know that other species are real, if you look at, I mean, obviously we'll read more here about the Volus and the Elcor. Obviously, they are very different than than humans, but at the same time, they're somewhat bipedal. They have 2 arms, they have 2 legs, they do have a head. Same thing with the Volus. They do have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Whether that classifies them as humanoid, I'm not sure. But these creatures here, the Keepers, are definitely not humanoid in nature. And it's definitely what Ashley calls it, a bug-looking thing. Which is exactly what it is. It's a bug-looking thing. We have no idea. Is it an intelligent species? Is it like a large beetle? Because what exactly is this? And so I think a lot of times what Ashley expresses, especially in the first part of Mass Effect 1, is a naivety to what the rest of the universe is. And, Shepard also expresses naivety later on, especially when he talks to Rex for the first time. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Ashley gets a ton of hate. And sometimes it's... And I think sometimes it's people following and piling on and just, going with the popular opinion, or maybe not so much opinion, but the popular concept at the time, and just, hey, I'm part of the in crowd. I'm part of of what is quote unquote socially acceptable right now. So I'm going to say this, and I think it's unfortunate because, especially when you dig into Ashley's story, and we'll dig into that through these Let's Plays, you find out it's a lot more complicated with that. And to be honest with you, a lot of her concerns that we'll get to in later episodes, she's not wrong about a lot of them. And in fact, a lot of the characters we meet exhibit extreme xenophobic tendencies, and these characters are not human. And so I think for a lot of reasons, I think Ashley gets a lot of flack, maybe an undeserved flack. Or let me put it this way: if you're going to give her flack, you gotta call a spade, and you gotta criticize the other characters who act in a even worse manner than she does. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
Yeah, so that's the quote there. That's what it is.
Oh, they've built themselves quite the lake. Wonder if anyone ever drowned in it. This place is a little too perfect. Like they're hiding something. I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
Let's see what is the link.
Big place.
Big place.
Sure is peaceful here. Big place.
Okay. All right. Let's talk to these guys.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Yeah. Tell me about your speech. Genuine query.
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din.
Remorseful response.
You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm.
Genuine enthusiasm.
I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Alright, tell me about the history of the Elcor.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups. Though we are always welcoming to outsiders, our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
So the Elcor, and I think we'll read about this in the Codex later on, but I'll provide a little insight here. One of the things that makes the Elcor very interesting is that their home planet is a very high gravity planet, where just falling down, accidentally and tripping and falling would be near fatal to most species, just because of the crushing gravity that is present on their planet. So they evolved to withstand the extreme natural effects of their home planet, and thus they are very slow. They're very careful, because they know that even themselves, who they've evolved to be very strong and to withstand potential accidents like falling down, it would still be very devastating. And so, out of necessity, they have become a very conservative culture. When I say conservative, I'm not talking about politically conservative. I'm talking about just how they respond to situations, in their home world in terms of physical limitations, but that hesitancy, that also does permeate into their political leanings and into how they view the rest of the universe, how they view the galaxy, how they view other races and their relationship with other races. And so they are more careful when they go into negotiations with other species. They're slow to trust, and a lot of that comes out of just their natural environment, how they evolved over time. And the care and I guess the attention to detail that the developers put into all of these little subgroups. I mean, at the end of the day, does the history and culture of the Elcor, does it have anything to do with ultimately what Shepard does in the Mass Effect trilogy? No, not really. But it's that added subtext, that makes this world feel real, makes it feel lived in. And I just really appreciate that by the developers.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Elcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke.
Chastising rebuke.
Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
I should go.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human.
Alright, let's see what this is.
Zeltan. Hello there, human. Sincere apology.
Sincere apology.
I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong. And it is the Asari Consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
The Consort?
Who's this Asari Consort?
Curious. You have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the Consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari Consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Alright, we'll go see this one. Alright, let's talk to Din Korlak.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din.
Yeah, he's got a chip on his shoulder.
At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
Yeah, what the heck is your problem?
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
Yeah.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details.
Details.
We still have no real
Facts.
say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Essentially, what the Elcor ambassador just told Den Korlak there was facts over feelings.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Den. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
That's because, well, we'll find out. Here we go.
Why aren't the Volus or Elcor part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
We're not part of the Council.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for
Shepard,
the
come
Volus
on.
and the Elcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus. When
In
I'm
this
not
shared
being
space.
interrupted.
He's very quick to tell that not only does he have a small office, but it's shared.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, Earth Clan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your culture.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status.
You trade your tribe members?
Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again.
So you're
Our
warlords.
society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
Alright, what about the history?
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Salarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
Yes, yes. Good day. Remorseful response. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button. Alright, let's go to the Codex. Wow, we got a lot of Codex entries to read here.
Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Salarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
So the Turians have a lot in common with... I mean, every species, I think, was modeled after some kind of a Earth civilization, Earth cultures. You know, just because that's... Or sometimes animals, when it comes to the Volus. Yeah, they're small, they're diminutive in size, and we're going to call them Volus. Like voles? Seriously? Okay. Alright, whatever. Okay, yeah, so the Turians, we'll learn more about the Turians here after a little while, too. Alright, so non-council races.
The Elcor are a Citadel species native to the high-gravity world Decuna. They are massive creatures, standing on 4 muscular legs for increased stability. Elcor move slowly, an evolved response to an environment where a fall can be lethal. This has colored their psychology, making them deliberate and conservative. Elcor's speech is ponderous and monotone. Among themselves, scent, slight movements, and sub-vocalized infrasound convey shades of meaning that make a human smile seem as subtle as a fireworks display. Since their subtlety can lead to misunderstandings with other species, the Elcor often go out of their way to clarify when they are being sarcastic, amused, or angry. Decuna's high gravity impedes mountain formation. Most of the world consists of flat, open plains, which prehistoric Elcor wandered across in small family bands. Modern Elcor still prefer open sky, and can become restless and uncomfortable on long starship journeys.
So this is more kind of, expanding on some of the stuff that I, spoke about earlier about the Elcor. Their natural environment gave way to a lot of their which is what the text said here was it colored their psychology, which is a great way of putting it.
The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the Terminus systems.
So yeah, the Geth will learn a lot more about as we go on.
The Volus are a member species of the Citadel with their own embassy, but they are also a client race of the Turians. Centuries ago, they were voluntarily absorbed into the hierarchy, effectively trading their mercantile prowess for Turian military protection. Erun, their homeworld, lies far beyond the normal life zone of its star. However, the world has a high-pressure greenhouse atmosphere that traps enough heat to support an ammonia-based biochemistry. As a result, the Volus must wear pressure suits and breathers when dealing with other species, as conventional nitrogen-oxygen-air mixtures are poisonous to them, and in the low-pressure atmospheres tolerable to most species, their flesh will actually split open. Volus culture is tribal, bartering lands and even people to gain status. This culture of exchange inclines them to economic pursuits. It was the Volus who authored the Unified Banking Act, and they continue to monitor and balance the Citadel economy.
So, their Din Korlak, their representative, he obviously is very upset that the Volus do not have a council seat. This is one of the reasons why. Not only because they are physically ill-equipped or ill-prepared to take on the responsibilities of what it would be to be a member of the Citadel Council, and plus they're a client race of the Turians, and they gave themselves to the Turians willingly for protection. Ergo, they cannot have a seat on the council.
After the Geth secure a location, they round up and impale dead and living bodies on mechanical spikes. The spikes rapidly transform these victims into withered husks, extracting water and trace minerals, and replacing them with cybernetics. The cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into mindless killing machines. Some Alliance soldiers refer to the husk-generating spikes as dragon's teeth, a reference to the mythological berserkers who sprang up from the earth wherever the teeth of the dragon Eris were planted. Dragon's teeth and husks bear little resemblance to other pieces of Geth technology. No one is sure why a synthetic race would bother to drain the minuscule amount of recoverable resources from organic corpses, though the value of reusing them as shock troops is obvious.
So it's interesting. Dragon's teeth and husks bear little resemblance to other pieces of Geth technology, so keep that in mind.
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it.
Yeah, we'll learn more about the Keepers.
The Council is an executive committee
I'm
composed
going to go on
of
mute here for
representatives
just a second.
from the Asari Republics, the Turian Hierarchy, and the Solarian Union. Though they have no official power over the independent governments of other species, the Council's decisions carry great weight throughout the galaxy. No single Council race is strong enough to defy the other two, and all have a vested interest in compromise and cooperation. Each of the Council species has general characteristics associated with the various aspects of governing the galaxy. The Asari are typically seen as diplomats and mediators. The Solarians gather intelligence and information. The Turians provide the bulk of the military and peacekeeping forces. Any species granted an embassy on the Citadel is considered an associate member, bound by the accords of the Citadel Conventions. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council, though they have no input on the decision. The Human Systems Alliance became an associate member of the Citadel in 2165. Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation. Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
So, I want to talk about this First Contact War real quick before we get going and keep exploring around the Citadel. So, this was obviously humanity's first experience with a new alien civilization. And now, obviously, the Citadel conventions forbid, dormant mass relays from being turned on. That was just part of the galactic law. But humanity wasn't part of the galactic law. They didn't even know aliens. Well, they had to know aliens existed. They knew it was a matter of time before they would make first contact. But how unreasonable were the Turians here? It's like, okay, hey, here's a group of aliens who we don't know who they are, this new species, and they're activating a mass relay. Let's, instead of like trying to communicate with them and trying to understand what the purpose of what they're doing and maybe educate them on the dangers of what they're doing, no, let's just go and murder them. Let's just go and kill them. And I just I mean, like I said, I go back to the whole xenophobia thing with Ashley and how people give her a hard time. The entire Turian race is incredibly xenophobic, but no one seems to give them any trouble. I just think it's hypocritical. I just think it's so hypocritical.
The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. It is populated by a loose affiliation of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council or adhere to the Citadel conventions. Their independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict. War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly war. Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
These are basically the Jedi Knights.
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields.
Yeah, I think we're all familiar with what that is. Alright, so this is the size of the Citadel, blah blah blah, Systems Alliance, military jargon. Yeah. Sensors, yeah. Biotic amps. Weapons and arm upgrades. Okay. Alright, Shepard, we got some points here. Let's go ahead and put a point there, and let's start opening up. Hey, Ashley. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go explore.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide.
No, thank you. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go straight to the Citadel Tower. Let's start this quest here.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the Council.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Thank you, Garrus.
Don't be ridiculous. The Volus won't be joining the Council for years.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right on their coattails if they succeed.
Allowing the humans to join us is a sound strategic move. But the Volus? No. The Hanar are likely to be next, then the Elcor.
You may be right, though the Hanar need to lighten up a bit first.
You just don't like them because you have trouble understanding them.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Yeah, quit protecting him.
Saren's hiding behind his position as a Spectre. You need to open your eyes.
What we need is evidence. So far, we've seen nothing.
Yeah, that's
There
true.
is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now?
Yeah.
How can I defend my innocence against this kind of
He does have a point there.
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
No.
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk.
I don't really know if that's the reason,
Is in
Anderson.
danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Anderson's a little emotional about this. Now, that being said, when this text was written, I don't think the developers had the entire trilogy planned out. But it is a little... He wants to kill us all!
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
So, what he's referring to there is a novel by Drew Karpyshyn, one of the writers on Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. I think the book is called Revelation. Mass Effect Revelation. I have read it. It's a very good book. I will link it in the description below for you to find it if you would like to read a copy of it yourself.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Yeah, I'll go talk to him.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
Actually, Udina's got a point there. Yeah, we do need some different buttons. So I'm just gonna go the neutral path here.
I'll take care of it.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Yeah, so would I. No. Yeah, that's pretty monstrous.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars. It causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions. But only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Maybe they'd let us join the Council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the Council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us. I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the Council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests, too.
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
The guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
Yeah.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done, like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still up in the air.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can... They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still...
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power, Shepard.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game. And the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics. Doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Tell me about Barla Vaughn.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius. Doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
Okay.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
All right. Let's head out.
everything you hear.
That's just it. I'm hearing it everywhere. It's not just isolated rumors.
Do you really think Saren could be involved in something like that without the Council knowing it?
Maybe the Council does know. Everyone already assumes he's just doing their dirty work.
That's dangerous talk. I'd be careful who you mention that to.
I know. But if it's true, shouldn't we be doing something about it?
No. And I'll thank you to keep me out of it if you do.
Very interesting. All right, hang on a second. Sorry. I was looking at a message here and got sidetracked. No more double tasking.
All the evidence against Saren.
Saren's one of their best operatives. It's only natural they'd take his word over ours.
Oh, so now we just chase leads while this smug Turian runs around with his Geth troopers.
That's politics, Chief.
I hate politics.
I think we all do, Ashley. Or at least most of us. Okay.
That bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Please do not disturb the keepers.
Yeah, they don't want us to disturb the keepers. Okay. No, say what? Oh, yeah.
That Hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
You should be more open-minded. Instead of being such a closed-minded xenophobic.
You should be more tolerant. It's just trying to express its beliefs.
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
An evangelical permit?
So if the Hanar gets a permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe. The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war.
I'll talk to it.
If you'd like, I could talk to the Hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance? Is this really how you want to represent the Enkindlers? The truth of the Enkindlers must be made known. They gave the Hanar language, and gave the universe the mass relays. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble. Is this how the Enkindlers would want you to use this gift of consciousness? The Enkindlers would wish for their message to be spread to all sentient races. The Enkindlers wouldn't wish their message to be spread by breaking society's laws. This one hears wisdom. Perhaps enthusiasm has clouded judgment in this matter. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the...
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
All right, we got leveled up and we got some monogel. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I need to go get some water so I can rehydrate, and so we'll just leave it right here for about 2 minutes while I get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. It took me a lot longer to get my glass of water. I was gone for almost 15 minutes there, I think. Since I'm doing these live, I'll probably just put a timestamp in the video going forward, where you can skip over that part. But ended up having a conversation with my wife, and one conversation led to another, and then next thing you know, oh crap, I forgot about this. Okay, we need to go talk to Barla Vaughn. So I think we have to go this way. That was that same guy that was in the Citadel Tower. Let's just follow him. Hello, random NPC. How are you? My name is Shepard. I'm new to the Citadel. Hey, do you want to join my crew? You look like you're pretty cool. Hey, let's have a staring contest. Yeah, I will make this hand gesture. What do you think about this? Well, I can tell you what I think about it, but what really do you think about it? I think we should really have another staring contest. Yeah, but I don't think we should have a staring contest. Well, excuse me. I really think we should, because I'm going to go back this way now. Dude, how come you, like, turned down his request for a staring contest? Alright. So now he's going to... Let's come back over here. Hey, let's find somebody else to have a staring contest with. I think his twin brother is, like, right here. Is it right? Yeah. They look exactly the same. They're twins. Come over here and let's have a staring contest with this guy over here. Dude, you're, like, stuck in the geometry of the game. Hello. Mr. NPC. You need to develop your own set of rules. You are following the rules set by the programmer, ergo, you are a slave to the system. The Matrix would have a lot to say about this. Okay. You're resuming your programming. I will march this way. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Okay. Hey, this guy back there, he didn't want to have a staring contest. Yes, can you believe it? He didn't want to have a staring contest with me. Well, I will have a staring contest with you. Yes, 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 we have much similar skin tones, so I think it would be much less distracting for us. Yes, and plus my head crests are much longer than yours. You would definitely have an advantage over me, so should we start with a staring contest? This other guy right here in this camouflage uniform, do you know what? He invited me to join his crew. He thinks... Can you believe that? Dude, what would you do with these little spikes on the back? See, the thing is, like, these boots... How did you put these boots on, and, like, the spikes, do they, like, fill up in there? That's ridiculous. How would you even get that on? Okay, we've had enough fun on the Citadel for right now. I'm going to check, what's my time on my broadcast? I'm an hour and 20 minutes.
What's this?
And I've accomplished basically nothing.
Ah, very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepard. It is a great honor to welcome the heroes of the Blitz.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
Okay, I need your help.
I've heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepard. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. And I do know something about Saren.
I hear your information can be expensive.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune. But these are exceptional circumstances. So I am going to give it to you for free.
For free?
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business, until Saren turned on him.
That's what happens when you deal with a traitor like Saren.
No matter what you think of Saren, he's not stupid. He knows the Shadow Broker is a valuable ally. Turning on him doesn't make sense. Not unless something huge was at stake. I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it. A Krogan mercenary.
How do I find him?
I heard he was paying Citadel security a visit. If you hurry, you can probably catch him before he leaves the C-Sec Academy.
Thanks for the info.
My pleasure, Commander.
Okay. Alright, let's go this way. These are... It's like where you'd play hockey or something. Here's the embassies over there.
That's enough. I've had my office rearranged 5 times. 5 times? Why?
Welcome. I am Nelina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
Commander Shepard, with the Alliance Navy.
Excellent. You should hear something in, 3 or 4 months.
What?
Nobody's worth that much of a wait.
Well, that's not for me to judge. I have your name and you'll be contacted. Is there anything else?
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future. We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Nelina.
Yes, Shaira?
Send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with him.
Yes, of course, mistress.
Yeah, so this is the brothel.
Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
Okay.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting for you.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
Are you checking up on me?
I don't like people spying on me.
I apologize, Commander. I make it my business to know when important people arrive on the station. Many of them become clients. But that is not why I asked you here. I have a certain problem that could use your expertise.
Maybe I can help.
I have a friend, Septimus, a retired Turian general. I won't discuss the details, but he wanted me to be more than I could be. We had a falling out.
Basically, he wanted in her pants.
Den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
What happened?
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
Okay.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to a sense of honor. Remind him of his position as a general. If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful. Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have many clients waiting to see me.
Okay. So we gotta go talk to this guy because the lady is turned him down, essentially. Bunch of drama on the Citadel.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
Oh, what a coincidence.
I have to admit I'm a little nervous.
Well, that's because you're a Volus. Okay, well, I guess it's time to go to the wards. I think we'll take the long way there so we can get that fast travel deal later, which I believe is this way. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's up here, this entrance up here. So we just made one big circle around. This place isn't that as big as I think it's originally made out to be. So the tower is right there.
So, Williams, you happy you signed on with Commander Shepard?
I'm not sure, Lieutenant. Every time I think I have a handle on things, the universe bank's hard to port.
Well, don't let anybody know. A big gun and a confident attitude will get you through a lot in life.
Do you really think we'll find him down here?
He always stops in for a few games of Quasar before he makes his drop.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
I mean, it's not unreasonable.
Hello there, Commander. I'm Dr. Claude Michel. Is there something I can do for you?
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice talking to you.
Okay, that's weird. I thought this is where Garrus was. I must be misremembering.
Big place.
That your professional opinion, sir?
He's right, Chief.
This isn't a station. It's a city.
There must be millions here. It can't be possible to track everyone coming and going.
This makes Jump Zero look like a porta-john, and it's the largest deep space station the Alliance has.
Jump Zero is big, but this is a whole nother scale. Look at the ward arms. How do they keep all that mass from flying apart?
The Council represents more races than I thought. No wonder they're careful with newcomers.
They probably just want to keep everything running. It has to be hard keeping all these cultures working together.
Or maybe they just don't like humans.
Come on, Ashley.
Why not? We've got oceans, beautiful women, this emotion called love. According to the old vids, we have everything they want.
If you expect to get me in a tinfoil miniskirt and thigh-high boots, I want dinner first. Sir.
That will be enough, Chief.
It's okay.
At ease, Lieutenant. Can't see her in a skirt anyway.
Damn straight you can't.
Ready to move out, sir.
Oh, that's good interaction there. Welcome to the wards. Okay.
Commander Shepard?
Commander Shepard? Hello. Hello.
I'm Emily Wong.
Oh, I'm Commander Shepard.
I'm an
That's right.
investigative journalist working here on the Citadel. Could I have a moment of your time?
Sure.
What do you need?
I've been hunting for evidence of corruption and organized crime on the Citadel, but there are places I can't go. I was hoping you might share anything you find during your own investigation. I can make it worth your time.
Yeah, how do you know if these are linked?
How do you know that my investigation is going to uncover anything you need?
You wouldn't be investigating if it weren't big. And if it's big, it's something I'd like to hear about.
So why me?
You've got to have access to better sources. Why contact me?
I'm using every source I can find, but I think I've got a better shot with you. I've read your file. If anyone is going to uncover corruption here, it's the hero of the Skillian Blitz.
How do you know I'm investigating anything here on the Citadel?
I'm a good journalist, Commander Shepard. Word gets around.
Okay, fine.
Sounds like a good cause. If I find any information, it's yours.
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
Okay.
You're Commander Shepard, the hero of Eden Prime. I am so honored to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Conrad. Conrad Verner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
More or less. I just really tried to help.
I spend most of the time trying to stay alive and help the colonists.
Hey, I know you're probably busy, but do you have time for a quick autograph?
Oh, no. Sure.
Anything for a fan. Here.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. My wife is going to be so impressed. I'll let you get back to work. Oh, but next time you're on Earth, I'd love to buy you a drink. Thanks again.
Next time you're back on Earth, I'd like to buy you a drink. Because Earth is just like a size of a bar in Sheboygan. What? Alright, let's go to Chorus Den. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the gameplay here. I'm going to try to keep these videos at around an hour to an hour and a half. And around an hour and 35 minutes. I'm not going to go too much longer right now. If you are, I do see there's one person watching, so I do have to thank you for watching. Stick with it right here. I'm going to start up the video number 3 here very, very shortly. I'm going to refill my water again, and then we'll kick back with part 3. This is a good spot to stop. We've done some investigative work. I took like a 15-minute break in the middle of this as well, but we'll pick it up to more of the action stuff here on the Citadel in the next part, in part 3. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk later. See you guys.